They say every dog got a day where they ain't really get to live. They say every sinner gotta pay, but I see it printed to forgive. Tribulation put you through the worst, I know why you thinking it's a myth. I woke up to your voice, it hit me where it hurts, some angels I'll never see again. Walking through the valley of the murk, trying to...
YouTube was good. It's your boy Money back with another video. It's 2:51 in the morning right now, I'm tired. My mom was trying to tell me all types of stuff, go to sleep, but I said, I'm gonna burst past all that and I'm gonna make this video. So, but matter of fact, hold up. I just gotta say, y'all gotta get with me with the oils, man. I make some of the best smell goods, I'm gonna make a video on that too though, I buy like a lot of the smell good bottles in bulk, I mix them up, smell amazing. If you know, you know. But, so one topic I wanted to talk about was, what helped me think critically. So it was a whole bunch of stuff, like growing up or even stuff now. So it would be times I'll be on the bus, or it would be times I'm walking down the street and, people complain about, oh, the bus take too long, or I miss my bus, or, somebody on the bus going off on a bus driver about, oh, you drive too slow, or they on the phone with their girlfriend, boyfriend, complaining about how, they don't want to punch in the clock, or how they ain't finished their goals. So it's like, you constantly around people, who didn't go after what they wanted. And, that forced me, even at a young age, to understand how important it is to be a go-getter. Now, we all, have the guilty conscience, at times of not going after things we should have. I could say that I was, it could be things of, like I could say like speaking up in the classroom. Let's say like, and your teacher asked you a certain question and you had an answer in your head, but you didn't want to feel dumb. Or it could have been in the sense of, you may have had an opportunity right in front of your face. That could have been, sports, or, a person that saw some potential in you and wanted to bring whatever craft or, put you on an opportunity, and in your head, it was in the sense of, I can't do it. I don't have, I don't have the smarts for that. I don't feel like, I have the drive and ambition. So you automatically count yourself out. And after a while, those thoughts, tend to haunt you, because it's like, as you keep going on with life, and, I'm guilty of this as well, and I know we all felt this. You tend to, not trust yourself, with anything else you do. So it's like, when you try to go after that next step, it's like, it's kind of hard because you let yourself down so many times, and like, you have the habit of, quitting everything you start. But when it comes time to start a new goal, you overthinking it, or you sitting up here, in the sense of, I don't know what I'm gonna do next, I don't know if this gonna work out or not, or you got the, fear of success, or, the fear of failure. So it could be a lot of different things that play into it. So when I actually sat down and think, like when it comes to journaling, and you actually get to the root cause of yourself, things start to backtrack. So like I said, I realized there'll be time growing up, well, I'm gonna combine both, growing up and now. So it's like, I see a lot of, like I said, the people complaining about, they wish they could have been in this place, or they wish they could have been, back in school or completing this goal. So there'll be times I would try to, like pick people's like that brain just to see where they're at. And, there's a lot of misery behind that. So that's why when it comes times, like I say, like going to work, or, interacting with somebody, or walking down the street, and, you give a simple hello, hey, how you doing? And the person, just seems to be automatically mad or try to brush you off, or, act like, they don't want to talk, or, there's something wrong with what you said. Or you may say something simple, make a little joke, For instance, a person can be walking down the street smiling, you could say something like, oh, who got you so happy today? And then they could just be in the sense of, oh, mind your business, I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff. But in reality, once you kind of backtrack and understand, a lot of people go through their day-to-day, due to the fact of they didn't complete their goals, but just, like hatred for themselves, hatred towards other people, or, running into those people who accomplished their goals or accomplished things that, they wish they would have done. And it's like an automatic, animosity towards them. So that caused me to actually sit down and try to analyze every situation. There's been times, I procrastinated. There's been times, where I had opportunities right in front of me. And like I said, you get that feeling of you don't know if you can trust yourself with that next step, or because you've given up on so many things, it becomes like a habit. So it's in the sense of you start something, and then the minute an obstacle comes, you give it all up. It's like, you try to go at it again, but then it's like, due to the fact that you gave up on yourself so much, it's like your mind don't want you to get past the thought of knowing the obstacles is there. So it's like, no matter how many times you put this goal on pause, or no matter how many times, you sit up here and say yourself a dream, that exactly don't mean that, you're going to complete it. Because it'll feel good to think like, I want to take over the world, or I want to hear, I want people to hear my message. Or when I leave the earth, I want, my kids, my family, I want the people around me, to actually have, some substance to say behind me. Rather than, oh, I had money, or, I had these materialistic things, or he was the flyest dude in the world, and those things are not bad, but after you pull all the layers back, you can actually say like, he told me something, we had intellectual conversations. They helped me to think critically, they helped me to think outside the box. They helped me to understand, why things happen, what's the norm behind things, where did it come from? So when you kind of dive deep into them things, you tend to actually have a purpose, to actually do what you want to do, because you understand that it's step at the next step that can't be overlooked. So it's like, you understand that if you want to attack a certain goal, it's always going to be that next step, that constantly learning, that constantly being a student of the game. I can say that feeling of, embarrassment, that feeling of, I don't know what this is going to lead to, or that constant trying to learn something new, and you struggling on one part, then you understand you got 10 more parts to go, or you got to struggle through all those. So that's what really helped me think critically, because like I don't go into a situation expecting everything to be easy. I understand this is going to be step by step, or even if something may come off smooth, I don't even just think of it on a whim. I understand that something that I may come across may be easy to me due to the fact that I build up experience in other levels. So let's say for example, like simple stuff, counting numbers and reading. The reason that we can do that stuff off the top of the head is because when we were younger, we put in the time to actually sit up there and think about everything we was gonna do. We constantly practice our timetables. We constantly was in English language arts, reading everything. Let's say Fest and Shakespeare, or poetry. So now it's like when it kind of come to conversations, being intellectual or debating, we kind of just fall off the top of the head without even thinking. Or a lot of things, some things like tying shoes, but when you first put on your first pair of sneakers, you probably tripped over it a couple of times, or things like that. So it's due to the fact that a lot of things that come easy to us, a lot of times we may say like, oh, that was nothing. I wish the rest of life could be like that, not knowing that other factors led up to that. So I don't never go into a situation thinking like, oh, I just know this because I know this. Like, no, sometimes that, once you build that experience under your belt, certain things may be second nature, or certain things may feel like it's nothing due to the fact that you build yourself up in other levels. And just seeing me, understand this type of knowledge at my age, I understand that, like, when it comes to the social norm, it's always going to be, in a sense of like that resistance. So like I can say, me having certain conversations or me wanting to make certain things happen, a lot of people may just focus at their age, and that's cool though, because some people may feel like, nah, with the age factor, I'm not going to get this a try. But that's only more fuel for me to go harder, because I'm looking like, once all, things fall in line and everybody else, like overlooking you, or they tend to put, other people before you, it's like when they see that, you're the last person standing, and that, they finally want to try to give you that shot and see that, you overruled everybody who they thought you couldn't, then things hit a lot different. Like I said, for me, sometimes if I'm talking to a person, I don't even try to, change their mind or try to go deep. Sometimes I just let the person think like, hey, you got it, or yeah, you know what you're talking about. Because it's like, when it comes to certain topics or certain things that pop up, it's just things that click to me right on top of the head, and I can see through it. So like, for example, some people may tend to ask like stupid questions. They might be like, oh, why this person always got attitude, or why this person always coming in cranky, or they may tend to argue with a person about something dumb. Like I said, for me, I understand that a lot of people go through their day-to-day life off misery regardless. So off GP, general principles, a lot of the stuff that probably being thrown at a person, or like thrown at me, doesn't come from me. So I'm not going to try to sit up here and solve a problem that I didn't make at all. So it's like, when those things occur, I tend to understand, maybe this person has, some mental battles they're fighting. It could be in the sense of relationships, friendships, or like I said, they're probably in a facility where they hate, or they wish they, would have took life more serious and changed a lot of things. So now it's in the sense of like, any little moment I get, it haunts me. So it's like, like I said, they might see a person that's accomplishing the goal they wish they would have done, and it's like just seeing that give them that that feeling, that feeling of guilt, that feeling of like mental trauma, like you had the opportunity to be this person, or take the step that this person took, but you overlooked the opportunity. Like for me doing this, falling off the top of the head, I was starting my videos so many times. It was like constantly, having to stop and do it over, stop and do it over, stop and do it over. by the time I actually got a long video, I probably am at the like 7, 8 video, but I'm glad I took this step because like I could tweak as I go. For me, I don't have the best editing skills, you know. I don't be having, you know, the best music behind it, you know, the best intro or whatever. But like I said, the most important part is just going after what I want, because once I look back, I could tweak, or you know, let me yeah, this type of you know, music or sound is more, you know, appealing to my audience. So you know, this type of scenery is better. Then you know, I can move the videos outside, move the videos, you know, better lighting, you know, better scenery in the background. But as of right now, the most important part is like, you know, just starting and getting it out the way. That's all I really can do right now. And it's like, yeah, as time go on, you know, like I said, learn how to make my videos more appealing, you know, more thumbnails, you know, and just more depth in my videos. And of course, I'll be oh yeah, I'm about to end the video, but yeah, you know, just kind of just going more deep in everything. But I'm just happy that I took this next step to get these videos out. But you know, love y'all. I'm about to go to bed, man. I'm tired, but you know, I'm gonna drop another video Sunday. So I'll see y'all Sunday.